Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Smile, unmasking the business of dentistry. You know, for a lot of years, it seems like dentistry has been in this very traditional, stable path. And then the last few years, let's call it 5 to 10 years, there's just been this trajectory that's changed and accelerated. And for a lot of us, we don't even really realize sometimes what trends are shaping the profession. So if you start looking around at what the trends are and what's impacting us, you can find all kinds of. It's hard to dial it down to just a few, but what I did is just put together 5 that I'm aware of, that I've dealt with on some level in the work that I do now especially, and we'll just think about how they might impact us in dentistry. So, the first one is just consolidation, the mergers and acquisition market. It's all over the place. Do you realize that 25 years ago, 2 out of 3 dentists were in solo practice? You know what it is today? Just 1 in 2. And so that's changed a lot. If you look at dentists that are under age 35, only 1 in 4 is in solo practice. And we have seen some record valuations for practices that has changed quite a bit in the last few years, with a lot more dentists that are thinking about retirement since COVID. But really, it's this influx of private equity money that has had such an impact on the acquisition and the appetite for acquisition. And so I think this is going to accelerate. Some people say it's in like the 4th inning, maybe the 5th inning of a long game, and we're going to see more and more of this happen. We need to think about what that means for us in our practice. I think there's opportunity because you can stand out. Really, when you consider some of the other trends that are in place, you can stand out even when those companies come in to your markets. This is why we always want to be improving and always understanding what's really happening. The second trend that you may be somewhat aware of but not really thought about in dentistry is the rise of virtual care or teledentistry. And there's a lot of dentists that still don't realize just how prevalent this is to consumers. There's a large percentage of them that really would like to use some type of virtual care. And there are ways that we could do better in dentistry. For example, there's a company called SmileSnap, and it's kind of like a hybrid form of virtual care where patients can submit short videos or pictures. You can get those and you can give them thoughts on their smile or their concerns on your own time and send it back. So this is a very good way of bridging the gap. But I think that making ourselves more accessible and making things more convenient is really important as time goes on. What about AI? Now that's a big one. I'll probably do a video just on that in the future, but we need to keep our eye on this because it is all over the place and it is pushing its way into dentistry. I think one of the things I want to point out is that there are these clinical programs like Pearl and Overjet. There's some others. And I think one of the most important things to understand is that these are being used by insurance companies now as well. So when you send your x-rays in, they may be using that same AI technology to analyze your film. So if they are, maybe we better pay attention. There's a lot better reasons to do so than that, but I'll just leave it there for the moment because there's a lot more to say about AI. Here's one you probably aren't really aware of, but it's the demand and the interest in natural products. So obviously this idea around, hormone disruptors or clean products, clean living is something that we hear a lot about, but most people don't realize that the demand for natural personal care products is growing dramatically. From 2021 to 2027, it's estimated that it'll be up about 40%. So what does that mean? It means that you could even offer those types of things in your practice, have a line of products that appeal to people in that demographic, and that can also really be a marketing piece that you can use as well. So think about how you might incorporate some of those products and what people want today in that realm. And then this one kind of ties into that. It ties into all of it, but there's a greater and greater push for personalized care. We say that a lot in dentistry, but really there's even more of a demand post-COVID for people to feel like they're dealing with brands that are genuine, authentic, that are transparent, that are going to be honest with them. There's a lot of reasons why that matters to people. People are into convenience, for another thing. They've gotten used to things being delivered the same day or the next day, or getting your groceries to your doorstep in a half hour. And so people really want a personalized experience. And as you continue to build your brand and provide what's really a pretty traditional service, you want to be thinking more and more, how can I personalize this? How can I meet this growing trend that's coming in to healthcare? And this is where I think independent practices can really thrive, because you have the opportunity to create a very distinctive brand and to stand out even when the corporate brands are growing, which is part of that first trend that we talked about. So think about that in the entire patient experience, the whole flywheel that goes on when patients being attracted into your practice and in all of your marketing, which again is super important in today's world, especially because of the corporate brands that have a pretty good sized marketing budget and are pushing a message. But you can offer more and you can do more for patients than a lot of them can. So just a few thoughts that really do apply to the business of dentistry and how we can become better, more effective, more efficient, and just provide a better service to our patients. Until next time, we'll leave it there.